So, I'm going to break down the chart for you, and I'm going to show you how I do my charts. This is what they look like. Yes, sir. So, this person is a life path number 5. Now, a life path number 5 is right in the middle of everything. And number 5 is that fight for freedom, that fight for balance. So, it is the dynamic force, okay? The energy behind the number 5 is Taurus or Taurus. Okay, Taurus people are wonderful people. They're very practical. They like to get shit done. Okay. Um the gift. The gift is a number 3. This person is very well balanced when it comes to communication. Um they probably don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but they can carry on that conversation. Even when you get to a point where you're stuck, they'll help you get out of that stuck part. And talk. Like I said, even if you don't know what the fuck, if they don't know what the fuck you're talking about or have no clue, they will find the words in their head to bomb to help you continue uh, talking. Because they communicate, and communicating is an exchange. It's not just uh, you say something and I listen. It can become that, but the moment you stop, something for you, and we're back on that path. Or just pretty much verbalizing themselves in a decent way, whether that's positively or negatively. Really doesn't matter. Communication is communication. So their attainment number is a number 33. Now, 33, excuse me, is the master teacher. Now, a master teacher is carries the energy of a number 3, a number 6, a number 11, and a number 22. Okay? And a number 3, like I said, is communication. Number 6 is creativity and nurturing and caring, uh, which is awesome because, like I said, it carries number 11, which is uh, a master intuitive, a master healer. Uh, Comes back to that number 6 as well. Um, and a number 22 is a master builder, okay, which also carries the number 4 and the 2. So number 33 is pretty much just everything all together. You know what I'm saying? But that is the attainment number. That is what that person is here to obtain. That is what that person is here to gain. The Saturn return for that person is 2018. That is when they will go through their significant change, whether that is positive or whether that is negative. That is upon the steps that that person takes. Um, if that person misses a step, then it could be detrimental on how they take that significant moment, or it could be very positive. Depends on the attributes of that person, on which way that goes. Now, their element is earth, very stable, very practical, very nurturing, because that is what earth is. Um, I like to look at things from a physical point of view as well as a spiritual point of view, um, because they both intertwine. Same thing as a mental point of view. Um, they all come together as one. You can't have one without the other, and when you do have one without the other, you're not very well balanced. Now, an Egyptian, this person would be Amun Ra. Now, we all know, well, for those who don't know who Amun Ra is, Amun and Ra are two different deities that come together to make one deity. Ra is the sun, and Amun is the creator of the sun, everything. Amen, is unknown, and Ra's the sun. So the aura of this person is very nice, very, very, very nice. Okay, but I'm doing all of this from numerology right now, this portion. So by using the signs in Egyptian, I am only doing it with the life path number 5. You can do your sun sign, your moon sign, your Mercury, your Mars, every sign you can also do in Egyptian, which also carries a characteristic. But since this portion of the chart is all numerology, um, I'm just gonna stick with the Amun Ra right now, and I'm not gonna get into the sun sign of Egyptian and all that other wonderful stuff. um, Something that is on the numerology section that is not numerology is the Chinese, which this person is a dragon, Yin or Yen Earth, not Yin Yang, uh, Yang Earth dragon. So the dragon is symbolic of the serpent. The difference between a snake and a dragon is a snake crawls on its belly, and a dragon is just an upgraded snake. Now, in mythology, we know that the dragon, not the dragon, the serpent is um, significant to enlightenment, to knowledge, to the unknown, and the fact that it has wings, legs, and arms um, is just an upgrade. Uh, so the dragon is very focused and determined, and with it being yang, it is focused on the outside, the things around it, as in yin is focusing on the things inside. And like I said, earth is very stable and nurturing and practical. So it is stable, nurturing, and practical externally. Um, the star seed is Ellipsin Taurus. That is a planet. That is where the star seed of this person comes from, which that planet is An, Ain. Um, if you know anything about mythology, that has a lot to do with Shu, which Shu stands in between Geb and Nut or Newt to pretty much separate them. Okay, it is the earth, not the earth, the air, uh, that is in between the ground and the sky. So that is also energy that that person would carry. That is where the soul is from. Um, but it carries a lot of Taurus energy, which is funny that that is where the star seed from, and it matches with the energy of the number, how everything comes together, right? So as you see on, I'm not sure if that would be the right side of on the screen, but on the right side of the screen, you have a tic-tac-toe board that says body, mind, and soul planes. Now, the cons are the empty spaces that line up, whether horizontally, parallel, or diagonally. Same thing with the pros. It will be those signs that line up with numbers in the spaces, parallel, horizontal, or diagonal. Okay. This person has detriments um, in these charts, which is skepticism and frustration. Now, with the frustration, um, that is in a way a detriment if you cannot control your frustrations, if you cannot figure out reasons that you are getting frustrated. If you could find out why you get frustrated, then you cannot get frustrated because you know what will frustrate you, and you know before you get frustrated how to divert that, right? Okay, so that is a detriment. Now, skepticism. I do not view that as a detriment. Uh, for the simple fact that we learn a lot of bullshit, for lack of a better word. And if you're skeptical about bullshit that you learn, then that puts you in a position to learn actual shit. You know, unless you're just skeptical about shit you shouldn't be skeptical about. Like, that's broccoli. Should I eat that? Like, you shouldn't be skeptical about that. It's good for you. You should eat it. Okay. Um. What else? What else? What else? Okay. The planets. The planets and the signs. Right underneath the tic tac toe board. The sun sign is Sagittarius. The moon sign is Gemini. The Mercury sign is Capricorn. The Mars sign is Aries. Venus sign is Sagittarius. Jupiter is Taurus. Saturn is Capricorn. Uranus is Capricorn. Neptune is Capricorn. And Pluto is Capricorn. Now, what is awesome about this right here, this person has a lot going on in their chart right now. And I haven't even got to the houses. This is just the planets and where the signs are. So, first off, the sun sign is Sagittarius, the moon sign is Gemini. Okay, those are completely opposite signs. Completely. Sagittarius is one way and Gemini is the other way, and they're literally across the board from each other. If you look at the zodiac wheel, literally right across from each other. So this person's ego and this person's feelings are always at battle, always on a totally different page at all points in time. Mars is in Aries, which means Aries is at home, is very comfortable here. This person has a temper or can't have a temper. We have Saturn that's in Capricorn, which is also home. This person is very, very stable and knows how to use things to its ability. You get what I'm saying? Because Saturn is pretty much father time. Saturn is going to do what Saturn wants to do when Saturn wants to do it, not when you wanted to do it. And Capricorn is an earth sign, and Saturn is the slowest planet, um, and it's home. You know what I'm saying? And Pluto. Scorpio is in Pluto, which is also home, um, which I find very funny. You have these three planets at home. that are very comfortable, but then, like I said, the sun and the moon are opposing each other. Now, the sun sign is your ego, the moon is your feelings, Mercury is how you think, Mars is your anger, Venus is your love, Jupiter is your luck, Saturn is uh, your restriction, Uranus is your order and structure, Neptune is like your illusion, uh, and Pluto is pretty much yourself undoing your limitations. Okay, so let's get to the houses. The houses. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, so it's getting kind of hot in here, spear. But like I said, the houses and the planets. So this person, first house has Sagittarius. So the first house is usually, no, not usually, it is the ascendant. So this person is a Sagittarius ascendant and a sun sign ascendant. Sagittarius ascendant and a sun sign Sagittarius, excuse me. Um so how other people will view this person is the same as how this person really is. Now, the sun sign is also in the first house, and you have Venus in the first house. So that's the ego and the abundance and love of the physical body and the self. Okay? So uh, this person probably has an ego about itself and probably uh, with Venus being there has a lot of love for itself. Um, the second house, you have Capricorn there, but you have Mercury, you have Saturn, you have Uranus, and you have Neptune there. And this is with money and possessions. So, uh, on this person's mental, you know, it thinks about how to handle its possessions and its money. Uh, with Saturn being there, everything is not going to come as fast as this person wants it to. You know, like I said, Saturn works on his own time. Saturn doesn't do what the fuck you wanted to do when you wanted to do. Saturn says, nah, nigga, hey, let me drag you through the mud a little bit so you can get a little experience and then you'll be ready for the world. That's Saturn. And Uranus is the structure and order. So this person has uh, his possessions and his money and things like that will have some type of order and you know in this house. But with Saturn being there, this will not come into midlife, you know, until between the ages of 33 and 35. With Neptune being there, Neptune doesn't have any restrictions on it, so this person could see things as being this type of way, but it not actually being that kind of way because Saturn is standing in its way. So the illusions will be you have order on your monetary uh, wants or needs or how things should be and your perception and your possessions, but you don't, you know, for the simple fact. Then again, like I'm telling you, Saturn is there. Saturn is blocking everything that's going on in this house until Saturn is ready to release this person. All right. In the third house, we have Aquarius. And we also have the North Node here, and the North Node for this person is Pisces. Okay, so that's with the siblings and the communication. Um, this is where this person needs to get comfortable. This person needs to get comfortable with the siblings. It needs to get comfortable with the communication. You know, um, that's what you're here to do. That is where you need to lean forward to. Okay. Um, in the fourth house, you have Pisces, no planets. The fifth house, there is Aries and Mars. So they're together, they're comfortable, but social life, very aggressive about the social life, very aggressive about the children. Um, that doesn't aggressive doesn't necessarily mean that they do it in the wrong way. It's just, look, this is how they are about it. This is how it needs to be. This is how we're gonna get it done. This is how we're gonna approach it, and let's get to it. All right. The sixth house is Taurus with Jupiter, and that's with work, service, and health. So they're very grounded and stable, and they have a lot of luck in that area. So even if they don't approach the situation correctly, with Jupiter standing there, like, all right, look, let me just give you a little guidance, you know what I'm saying? Because I know you're fixed in that way, but I'm going to give you a little guidance. And that's what Jupiter and Taurus is doing in that house. All right. The seventh house, the house of relationships and partnerships, you have Gemini there, okay, with the moon. So Gemini is the two lovers, the pillar, and the moon there, is emotions. So, sucker for love, sucker for love. Um, and the eighth house is Cancer, and they have Chiron there. And this is the house of tax debt, regeneration, and death. So I always say death is not necessarily uh, death as in dying. It's just the end of something and the start of something new. But this is where your pain is going to come in at. Okay, this is where you're going to have the most trouble unless you get an understanding of pretty much how these things work, dealing with your taxes and regeneration and death, that things are going to always uh, have a beginning and an end. So just because something is ending does not mean that it's over. It is just an opening for something else. Okay. Your ninth house, Leo, no planets. Your 10th house, you have Mercury and you have Lilith. So you are very rebellious against authority and status of how other people view you, rebellious of it, have no care for it. Your 10th house is Libra there, okay, but you have no planets there. And that's the 11th house. And the 12th house, you have Scorpio there with Pluto, and these are your limitations, okay? So Scorpio is very secretive. Scorpio is very, I believe Scorpio is a fixed water sign, okay? And with Pluto being there, same thing pretty much as um, death and regeneration. Uh, things are going to end and then things are going to restart. It is a mystical aura type of thing going on here. Understand? Hey, don't run away from me. Don't run away from me. Hey. All right. So now we're done with that. You have the peak number charts. The peak number charts are in the age 31 is when this cycle is gonna begin. That's 2019. Hey, that's this year. Okay, that this person is gonna be going through a lot, but it's gonna come into itself, like I said, with the Saturn return in 2018, whether that's positive or negative. This energy would drag on to 31, and that's when you start your your 7 year process. Your 9 year process. Seven is sidereal, but I'm using tropical right now, so it's with 9 years, and Western astrology and numerology. So it's the 9 year cycle. Same thing if you know about numerology. One is the self, two is duality, three is communication, four is practicality, five is freedom, six is creativity and nurturing, seven is intellect, eight is control in the powerhouse, and nine is humanitarian, and it starts back over at one. So you do this throughout the years and also the age. So you have the energy of the year and you have the energy of your age. Okay, so this person is a year. Reduction of every first year is 3, and of the age is 4. All right. So I also have here that all of the planets, none of them land on any water. And the fire element is very strong here. The mutable sign is very strong here. All right. The cell salts on this particular chart are not correct because I went the opposite way. I went clockwise instead of counterclockwise. I have a lot more charts. I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what I do and what I'm going to be doing in the future. And on top of that, we're going to have a lot of different other talks and stuff like that, and bringing in a couple guests to the channel. So I hope you enjoyed this, and you guys have a good night. Don't trip, it's just a small thing. I pledge allegiance to my side. I'm a warrior. I've been to hell and back, but I ain't going back. I pledge allegiance to the Reaper. He my blood keeper. My blood keeper. Yeah, my blood keeper. I pledge allegiance to my people. That's the main thing.